Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're unpacking a topic that's literally making waves in financial planning circles and could fundamentally reshape retirement for millions. We're talking about the potential $100,000 cap on Social Security benefits. If you're approaching retirement, or honestly, even if you're just meticulously mapping out your financial future, this is a policy proposal you absolutely need to have on your radar. We're going to break down exactly what this cap is, why it's being proposed, and what it actually means for your retirement planning. I want you to imagine something for a second. You spent decades building a highly successful career. Year after year, paycheck after paycheck, you've been diligently paying into the Social Security system, and you've factored that anticipated income right into your retirement timeline. But what if you were to discover that those future benefits might be restricted? For high earners who spent a lifetime contributing at the absolute maximum levels, the realization that their expected payout could suddenly be capped, well, that comes as a massive shock. Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, the Social Security squeeze. Second, the 100K cap proposal. Third, who will be affected. Fourth, the core conflict, safety net versus earned benefit. And finally, preparing for policy changes. All right, Section 1, the Social Security squeeze and why the system is under pressure. To truly understand why lawmakers are even discussing a proposed cap, we first have to objectively look at the demographic pressures bearing down on the system. And the foundation of this challenge is a massive demographic shift happening right now. America's population is aging, and hey, thanks to modern medicine and better living standards, we're living significantly longer. Think about it. When Social Security was created back in the 1930s, average life expectancy was barely past 60, meaning a lot of folks never even collected benefits. Today, people routinely spend decades in retirement. Now, couple that increased longevity with the fact that birth rates have steadily declined compared to previous generations, it creates a fascinating but pretty stressful mathematical reality for a program that relies entirely on current workers to fund current retirees. And this brilliantly illustrates the root of the funding crisis. You basically have two lines on a graph moving in completely opposite directions. The number of workers paying into the system is shrinking relatively, while the number of retirees drawing from the system is growing. According to the projections, this demographic squeeze means the system is eventually going to require some significant adjustments just to maintain full benefits for future generations. That is the exact pressure cooker pushing lawmakers to explore new reforms. Everything from raising taxes to increasing the retirement age to reducing future benefits. Which brings us to Section 2, the 100K cap proposal, a potential policy shift. Before we look at the change, we really need to remember the historical foundation of Social Security. For decades, the basic promise to the American worker has been incredibly straightforward. The more you earn throughout your career and the more you contribute through payroll taxes, the larger your potential benefit will be in retirement. Payouts have always been strictly tied to your lifetime payroll tax contributions. It was designed as an earned benefit that is proportional to what you put in. Now, what's really interesting here is how this proposed $100,000 limit acts as a hard ceiling. It fundamentally alters that traditional relationship we just talked about. Under this concept, there would be a hard limit, an absolute maximum on the Social Security benefits an individual could receive. It simply wouldn't matter if you earned significantly more throughout your career or paid substantially higher payroll taxes into the system. Any benefits beyond that specific threshold would be restricted. It completely severs the direct tie between maximum contributions and maximum payouts. Let's move to Section 3. Who will be affected? Identifying the target demographics. So, if the link between high contributions and high payouts gets severed, who actually feels the pinch? Well, it's important to note right off the bat that not every American would feel this impact. In fact, many retirees would see absolutely no direct change to their checks. This cap is a highly targeted proposal. We're talking about folks hitting the maximum taxable earnings limit year after year. Corporate executives, specialized physicians, seasoned attorneys, successful business owners. The crosshairs are placed squarely on professionals with high lifetime earnings. You might look at the typical income sources for high earners, like investment portfolios, 401ks, and real estate holdings, and think, well, they have other money, so what's the big deal? But here's why this matters. Financial planning is a deeply interconnected web. Even though these professionals have multiple, diversified income sources, suddenly having a much smaller than expected Social Security benefit creates a real gap. To fill that gap, they might have to draw down their investment portfolios faster, change their real estate strategies, or significantly adjust their actual retirement timelines. It forces a major recalculation of the whole shebang. Section 4. Safety net versus earned benefit. This is the core conflict.
So the crucial point here is understanding the two perfectly opposed philosophies driving this debate. On one side, supporters of the cap argue that Social Security was originally designed to be a safety net, not a wealth-building program. From their perspective, capping high earners creates financial sustainability. It preserves the system's limited resources for the lower and middle-income retirees who truly depend on it just to survive. But on the other side, opponents of the cap argue purely on the basis of fairness and the program's original promise. They believe it is an earned benefit. Workers who are forced to contribute more into the system should rightfully continue receiving benefits that accurately reflect those higher lifetime contributions. It's a classic clash between systemic sustainability and individual fairness.
Section 5. Preparing for policy changes. Let's look at some actionable takeaways you can actually control. With such a massive debate looming in the background, what are you supposed to do? Let's see how you can build a resilient financial plan using 3 steps. Step 1 is fundamental. Social Security is important, for sure, but it should never be your solitary source of retirement income. Step 2, stay informed. Policy is fluid. As we've seen today, the rules of the game can change, so keeping up to date is one of the most valuable financial habits you can develop. And step 3, the ultimate defense against policy uncertainty is building diversified personal savings and independent income streams. The more wealth you build outside the system, the more flexibility you maintain, regardless of what lawmakers decide to do with the program.
Which leaves us with the ultimate question as we wrap up today's explainer. As America continues to grapple with these unprecedented retirement challenges, where do you see the future heading? Should Social Security benefits be capped to protect the system's sustainability? Or must they continue reflecting a worker's lifetime contributions to honor the program's original promise? It's a complex question that will undoubtedly shape the future of retirement for all of us. Keep exploring, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next explainer.